Greetings to everyone. In today's video, we're going to be looking at solution to GCE Maths June 2021 questions 2. Now, the sub part of this question, the B part of this question says that find the range of values of x for which 2 minus x divided by x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. 3 marks. So this is an inequality. We have been given an inequality to solve. Now, the first remark that I want you all to take note of is you should never ever cross multiplication in inequalities. So we want to solve this inequality. You should never ever cross multiplication. You should never ever do this. Immediately you cross multiplication, you're going to cancel out solutions. So always make sure to look for your critical values. So we have 2 minus and x plus 1 to be greater than or equal to 0. The first thing you need to do when you have inequalities of this sort is to look for the critical values. The critical values. We simply equate the numerator to equal to 0 and the denominator equal to 0 to get a critical values. It means that we're going to take 2 minus x will be equal to 0, which implies that x will be 2, and x plus 1 equal to 0 implies that x will be equal to minus 1. Now, after having our critical values, then we need to come up with a number line. Now, the values that our critical values will be placed on the number line in increasing order. So we have -1 is going to come first, and then 2. It should be in increasing order, like a normal number line. So if we had a value like -3, therefore obviously the -3 would appear here. Or if you had a value like 4, therefore the 4 will appear there. Now, our critical values separate our number line into 3 regions. This is the first region for all x greater than 2. This is the second region for all the values in between -1 and 2, and this is the third region for all the values less than -1. Remember, we're dealing with inequalities, and when it comes to inequalities, we're dealing with a range of values. If it is an equality, therefore we're dealing with just a single value. Now, looking at these values, we're going to take for each of the region, consider what the sign will look like. So if you consider let's look for this region. We're going to take a random value in this region, let's say 0, and make sure to always take a value that will simplify your work. If you take a value that is going to cause you to calculate a lot, you might likely make a mistake. So it's always good to take values like 0 so that you can do the computation very easily. So if you take a value, let's say 0 here, and we substitute it in this our original inequality, we're interested in the sign of the inequality. Remember, we're taking a range of values depending on the sign of our inequality. So if we put 0 here, we're going to have 2 in the numerator, and we put 0 down, we're going to have 1 in the denominator. This is positive. So this is positive. So here we have plus, 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 plus. Now we're going to take a value above 2 or greater than 2. Obviously, let's take 3. So if you take 3, we're going to have 2 minus 3 will be -1. And 3 plus 1 will be 4. This is a negative value, so we have negative, negative, negative. And if you take a value, let's say -2 down, we are going to have 2 into negative, -2, which is going to give us positive. Now divided by -2 plus 1. We're going to take a value, let's say -2. -2, if we put -2 there, we're going to have, so this will be negative. So -2 plus 1 will be -1. So this will be negative. So normally, once you place your values on a number line in increasing order, and there is no square in our original equation, and there is no square here, therefore once you get if the first region, you can simply take the opposite. So if we had another region, here will be plus, 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 and here will be plus, plus, plus. If we add another region, it will be minus, minus, minus. So what I'm trying to explain here is once you place these values in increasing order, they will always sort themselves out in this pattern: plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, all true. So after coming up with this, we can now after coming out this number line, it has indicated the signs of our inequality. Therefore, we have to compare this with our original value. Comparing this, our original equation says that the values for this inequality to be greater than 0. When we talk of greater than 0, we mean that the value should be positive, and for positive we're in this region. Therefore, the solution to this equation, or the range of values for which this inequality is greater than or equal to 0, is x less than or equal to 2 and greater than -1. Now I want to point out something. Now if we look at this function, we see that the domain of this function belongs to the set of R minus -1. Why? So if we put -1 in this our function, the function itself will not exist, because the denominator, a number divided by 0, does not exist. So it's always good to point out the domain of your function, so that you should not make a mistake. So if we look at this our inequality here, it is strictly less than, not less than or equal to. The reason being that if we put less than or equal to 1, then this function will not exist. Therefore, this will be wrong. But if you take your domain and you know that 1 is not part of the solution, you're going to avoid this mistake. This kind of questions are usually very common in MCQ. So always watch out. Always watch out to these small mistakes, not to fall into the trap. So that's all for the video. If you found the video helpful, consider subscribing and turning the bell notification, so that whenever I upload new videos, you are going to see it. And I'll be uploading more videos in other subjects like chemistry, mathematics, further maths mechanics, further maths mechanics, physics mechanics, and all, even MCQs, even for ordinary levels. So if you see that these videos are helpful, try share it with your mates so that we can reach a larger audience. You can also like the video so that you can support as a form of supporting, and put in the comment section any question or any topic you want us to make a video on. We'll gladly and happily do that. So see you all in the next video.